it's the largest financial purchase that most people will make in their lives. And you have to be able to emotionally connect with them and support them through it. It's not just, here's a house, let's make an offer. You've got to see them through it. And it can be very emotionally and mentally draining.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Design, Build, Sell. I'm your host, RB Gallup, with my co-host,
Alicia Davi.
And Sarah Bennett.
Today we're going to profile Sarah Bennett and kind of get the real estate component of our podcast and really learn a little bit more about Sarah and her background.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sarah.
So I am a native of the Midlands. I have lived here the majority of my life. Grew up on the northeast side of town. I am a married mother of two. My husband and I live in Lexington, and we have two girls. We have Emma, who is 9, and Molly, who is 7. And I've been in real estate. I'm in my 7th year of real estate now. Prior to that, I would have never imagined this is where my life would have ended up. Come from very humble beginnings. My parents both worked, just very normal jobs growing up. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Went to some college. I thought that I was a music performance major, and I majored in playing the flute. And
a real flautist.
I am a real flautist. Flautist dropout though. But it's so funny to think now, looking back. I mean, I don't know why I chose that. I am very much into the whole music scene. I play several instruments. I like to sing.
Were you in the marching band?
I was in the marching band for 2 years.
All right, so that's something else that unites us. I was in the marching band as well.
Look at you two.
I played the trumpet, and then I tried to be cool and be on the drum line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how'd that work?
They only let me play the bass drum.
Oh,
so
man.
Big band camp kids over here.
Kids. She was a cheerleader. She was one of the cool kids, y'all.
And a golfer.
That's right. Oh. We'll have to get back to that. But so I went to college for music performance, realized that was not going to be my path in life. And during that time, when I was ending high school, going to college, I also met my husband, Josh, who was a couple of years ahead of me in college. After I quit school, we got married, and I worked full time while I put Josh through law school. So I like to tell him I'm the backbone of this family.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bringing home the bacon.
Right?
Yeah. That's cool. Me. Like I said, Columbia native.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, and we didn't know this about each other, and we really didn't promote it. Me recently, I'm just getting okay saying it, but we're all college dropouts.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it is. And we've talked about it before, but I also did struggle a lot with being a college dropout, especially before I got into real estate. I would find myself, especially being married to an attorney and going to functions and dinners and parties, and everyone there has some sort of degree, they're in some sort of law, and I would just kind of sit there and I would say, I went to Winthrop, and I would kind of leave it at that and then try to change the subject. But I think that we as I would say like our generation is probably one of the first to be able to say that going to college is important. Okay, don't drop out of school. But if you have a very specific degree, but if you don't have that specific degree that you're looking for to be a doctor or an engineer or whatever, you can still be incredibly successful in life.
Yeah.
And it's all more about your work ethic, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kids, you can be anything you put your mind to.
Yeah. I mean, work experience, attitude, and drive.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. It was definitely something that I struggled with for a really long time.
So what made you decide to go into real estate?
So prior to being in real estate, as I said before, I worked full time while Josh was in law school, and we had 2 kids, and I stayed at home, and I was a stay-at-home mom, very similar to Alicia's story, where I just knew that I wanted to get back to work. I just knew that I was not going to be a full-time stay-at-home mom forever. But I also knew that I did not want to go back to an office desk job. So I had always had an interest in sales, and I approached Josh just kind of on a whim and said, I think I want to go to real estate school. And I had already planned out, I had this big speech prepared and told him all the things that I would need to do, and he fully was behind me and said, yeah, let's go for it. And so I chose real estate though for two reasons. I saw this appeal of having a flexible schedule somewhat as a young mom, but I also, in terms of sales, loved the idea of not having a ceiling with how much I could make. I could work a little bit and just have some fun play money, or I could turn into what it has become, which is a true career for me.
So you've become a top producer. You know, you're consistently, I think, top 15 in the MLS, something like that.
Something like that.
Winning awards for your brokerage. You know, how did you get into that ambitious state of real estate?
Well, I definitely did not really ever picture myself here initially. I was initially that mindset of, oh, just be some fun play money, you know, I'll be able to contribute to the family in some way. And for the first couple of years, that was what it was like. And it was fine. I was happy. I was making good money. There was nothing to complain about. But entering that third year, I started to get really busy and saw a pickup in my business. And it became quickly apparent to Josh and I that this was becoming a true career. And so by that third year was when I started to set goals. I started to get a bit more hungry for it. I started to track what my stats were on MLS, and I still remember to this day when I was just obsessed with breaking into that top 100. I felt like if I could say that I was a top 100 agent in our market, that was like a huge goal to set for myself. There are typically somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 active agents just in our MLS. So to break into the top 100 to me was a huge goal to achieve.
Yeah, it is huge.
And I remember the day that I logged on because I knew I was close. I was obnoxiously obsessed. And so I logged on and I looked, and there, sure enough, it said little old Sarah Bennett, 99. And I lost my mind. I called Josh screaming. I called another friend of mine who's also in real estate to tell her, because her and I were both like pushing for it. And she was so excited for me. And I can still just feel that thrill.
That's
and I think
awesome.
that's then what I said, okay, what next? You know, what am I going to do now? What's the next achievement? And then it's just kind of grown from there.
So how long did that take you to get to that point?
I can't remember if it was in my third or fourth year in real estate. It was somewhere in between that. Like I said, it's the third year where I really started setting those goals. So I want to say it was maybe towards the end of my third year that I hit that mark.
That's really interesting. You say third year. I felt like I got pretty proficient with what I was doing building houses at year 3. I got extremely confident with it at year 5.
Yeah.
But like it takes a lot of time to just time in the seat, you know?
Absolutely. You'll make a lot of mistakes. But that's okay. You know, we're human. We make mistakes.
Absolutely.
But you learn from those and you'll never make them again. I promise you that. So
I'll have to say, Sarah's one of like the most knowledgeable people in her industry that I know. Like, she can just spiel out real estate knowledge, and she's always like so professional when she's around people talking, and I just look up to her in that sense.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
So recently, in the past year and a half, you started Team Sarah.
Yeah. So again, career is, you know, really picking up, seeing, you know, starting to climb up in the rankings of MLS and production. And I think that there are some stats out there that say that most agents, once they sell on average about $10 million in real estate a year, that's when they need to start building a team or join a team. For the 2 years before I built a team, I was selling $15 and $20 million on my own. So I was definitely overextended, but I kept telling myself, I think I can do it. And it was Josh, who is a part of our team. My husband, he's an attorney. He also then got his real estate license. He's also a licensed broker. And we formed Team Sarah. We've got our transaction coordinator now. We've got our team members, Alicia and Nikki, and then of course Josh also in the background helping as well. And it has opened doors for, you know, for us to be able to take it to that next level again. And it's been a great learning curve, learning how to, I don't want to say be a boss of people because I still don't see myself as that, but to just be able to give that guidance and advice, and also to, you know, help other people reach the goals that they want to reach.
Yeah, no, I have to say, being on part of your team, I think you're a great leader, because Sarah's understanding that design is my main passion, and I have a love for it, but I also like have a love for like real estate. I kind of think it's like under the same umbrella. So when she was talking about making a team and she was like, you should get your license, I was like, well, here we go. But she's so supportive because she knows I do design full time. So she's like, listen, you have a spot on Team Sarah no matter what. You can sell 1 house a year. You can sell 50 houses a year. I don't care. Yeah. She's like, I have your back. I'm here to support you. I'm here to give you leads. So again, like I couldn't imagine working under anybody else for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you're, Alicia's manifested her connection to all of us and stuff, but I think I knew y'all as a team, whether y'all are a unit.
Yeah.
Y'all are very connected in your real estate actions, and then you also do some house staging, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we decided in the year of the pandemic, the end of 2020, why not invest in a business together?
Right as it became a total seller's market.
Yeah. So obviously
no one needed it. I'm just kidding.
The market shifted, which we didn't predict at that time, but me being a designer, her being a real estate agent, we're like, let's start a staging business. And Sarah knows the value of staging homes.
Yeah, I think that Alicia and I, while we also connect personally, one thing that we will always connect on is professionally, like she mentioned, like the design and the real estate. It's always brought us together, and I think it always will in many different areas of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely say y'all are both very ambitious female professionals, and that's really exciting to be at this table. I've tried to hire as many of those as possible.
Yeah.
Women do run the world. I hate to tell people that.
Oh, I know.
You heard it here.
We have a female project manager. I thought that was awesome because that's primarily like a male driven position, I feel like. So
well, even real estate in general is predominantly a very male driven.
Oh yeah.
And it's only been over the past few years that we started to see more females, start to take over, at least in our market. And so when I say that, I'm not saying all over the world, but I mean it's great to be able to see a lot of female empowerment moving up in the ranks, because I think for a very long time, women who went to real estate were looked at as someone who, again, was a stay-at-home mom who just wanted a little bit of extra money to kind of, have some fun with. And that certainly has shifted.
So if we could kind of talk a little bit about the role of social media in your business, I think it's very important because that's how I came to know you. I'm not an active real estate agent. I'm not a buyer. I'm not any of these things tied to the market. But I saw you and you really stood out because y'all had polished social media and you were out there consistently. Has that been a big part of your business?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge part of our business. And what's really crazy about it is when I first went to real estate, so it's been 7 years. So it's not like social media is new 7 years ago. But when I first went into real estate at the brokerage I was at, I remember telling they gave me a mentor, and I told that person that I wanted to be able to use Facebook and social media to sell myself and sell homes, and they just were like, no, you don't do that. That's not how we do things. You need to go door knocking. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I was like, I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
So I didn't take their advice. And again, especially in our market, there are so few agents that consistently post on social media. We also do video and that as well. And again, there aren't a ton of agents who do that on a regular basis. But I would encourage anybody that wants to get into real estate, social media is a huge part of this. It's really about marketing yourself, and where better to do that than on Instagram. It's
not so much as just throwing up your listing photos and okay, here's your listing photos and your videos. I don't really care, honestly. I don't think most people, unless it's that house that they want, that they care.
Yeah.
They love seeing the videos about you and about your husband and about your team.
Yeah.
That is what sells people on you. You're an agent. You are the company. You are the brand. So I think doing that and giving that insight onto who you are and what gives you that purpose, cause, and passion. I mean, that's what caught my attention. Is it's not just boring photos of houses all the time.
Right. I mean, and you can imagine, all of us, we have our own social media. That could be a full-time job if you're really trying to dive into it. So Sarah's super fortunate. Her husband is on her team and helps her with all her marketing and media. And I think that that's so important. Like, my husband's super into media and stuff, but for his own company, like if I could have that for mine, it'd be so amazing. So I love that they're like a dynamic duo.
Yeah, I have to say, like, when it comes to social media and a lot of my business, I could not do it without my husband. And, you know, he's fantastic. He's amazing. He runs like 7 full-time jobs. I don't know how he does it, but
does he sleep a lot?
No, not really. So that might be a part of it. But yeah, I don't know how he crams it on. He always says all the time, like, if I could just get like 5 more hours a day, you know, 1 more hour a day. But Josh is a huge part of it. He does help me out a ton. He does all of our videos. He does, you know, we collab together a lot to figure out what content we're going to release. So he's a great partner in that aspect.
Yeah, if y'all haven't seen it, Sarah does this awesome series of Sarah Tries Weird Holiday Candy.
Yep.
And that was one of the last things that really caught my attention. I was like, this is good. And Josh definitely throws like candy at her.
Yeah. In the face.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's entertaining for sure.
The first time it was an accident, and then it just became, you know, that's his thing now. So, yeah. Gotta find some more weird candy coming up soon. Yeah.
I would imagine like people in your industry, your competitors, like give you a little bit of your drive, right?
Absolutely. I think that I always tell people I think the healthy competition is great. I'm always keeping my eyes on what my competition is doing. And I personally think that if you don't have that healthy competitive edge and you're not comparing yourself to someone else in your current market, I think you're doing it wrong. I think that you have to have somebody to compete against, and again, in a very healthy way.
Right.
Who are your role models in the real estate industry?
I would definitely say most notably my role model would be Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing. I've watched the show for years, but it really wasn't until probably about 3 years ago that I realized, I feel like sometimes you watch those shows like Selling Sunset and $1 Million Listing, you think, oh, they're just kind of like actors. But they really do sell real estate.
Yeah.
And Ryan Serhant has kind of taken it to the next level where he's written books and has this mentorship program. And I was honored enough to be able to actually meet him in person several years ago. And it literally was a thing where we were in New York, and Josh told me, he's like, you should just email him and just see what he says. And we emailed him, and he responded within an hour and said, come on by the office. And so he, that year, I think, sold $1 billion in real estate. And so just to kind of sit with him for the time that I did, meet his team, was incredibly inspiring for me, and then helped give me even more of a boost of confidence. You mentioned that 5-year, I think that was probably entering my 5th year when I then met him and got that extra boost that just really started to catapult me into the next level of real estate.
A lot of experience, and you built a really successful brand.
Mm-hmm.
I know, you know, we've talked offline about this, and it's a common kind of stigma that real estate is easy.
Yeah.
And it's something that, you know, every soccer mom down the road's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Well, you've clearly taken that to another level.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
We joke with Sarah because we have this phrase saying like part-time all the time, because a couple years ago I think someone like alluded that Sarah was like a part-time agent, and she was also a mom.
I bet that felt good.
And she was like, and we're like, yeah, she's part-time all the time.
Yeah.
Like us being friends, we go on vacations and stuff together, like she's always working, like she hustles. So it's nothing part-time here.
Right.
It's nothing easy here.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, and I still remember that, getting that fire lit under you when someone says something like that, you know, and that person probably didn't mean it in a super malicious way, but they did mean it, I think, it was a little demeaning to me. Like, yeah, I am a mom, but I work like 40 hours plus a week, and I'll show you. And that was, you know, yet again, another thing. I was like, all right, let me set my next goal, see what I can do.
Real estate's easy. You just open the house. Like, elaborate on that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that all the time. People saying, you know, oh, it's so easy, just put a sign in the yard or open a door. And to be fair, we have been in a market in terms of the selling side that is easier. And so some of these newer agents that just came into our market over the past year or so, I think are in for a real earth-rocking moment when that market does start to shift, because real estate is so much more than just that. You have to be available not on your own flexibility, but what your client's flexibility is.
Right.
It might sound this might sound super shocking, but not everyone wants to look at a house on a Tuesday at 11. They want to look at houses on Friday at 4:30, which is what I'm going to be doing later on this afternoon. They want to look at houses on long weekends, holiday weekends. So you have to be flexible to them. You have to understand, decipher, and know the back of your hand legal documents when you have no legal background at all. But most importantly, real estate is an emotional financial purchase, and these people are spending it's the largest financial purchase that most people will make in their lives, and you have to be able to emotionally connect with them and support them through it. It's not just, here's a house, let's make an offer. You've got to see them through it, and it can be very emotionally and mentally draining at times.
Good agents are really aggressive communicators, I think. What time at night will you not text someone back?
If I'm like truly asleep, I won't respond, obviously. But no, I mean,
that's the wrong answer.
That's the wrong answer. I will lay down at night, and if I'm not fully asleep and I see my phone go off, if I have the energy to lean over and see who it is, I might still respond. But I do stay up late sending emails and responding to texts. I do try to find that balance of, I set time aside for my family and stuff in the evenings, but I'll usually, someone texts me around like 9:30, like, I know it's late. All right, what's up? So, no worries, I stay up late.
Well, it just goes to show that, like, for real estate especially, like you said, there's no ceiling for you. Like, you could be as successful as you want.
Absolutely. It's just a matter of how much you want to work. I mean, if you don't want to answer phone calls after 7 o'clock in the evenings, which I know some agents that don't, and you don't want to work while you're on vacation or on the weekends, you probably are going to limit yourself. It is great to have a team in place. We've talked before about not like burning out and not working. What was it we said earlier? Not working to live, or not
living to work. Yeah.
Not living to work. Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to. We do enjoy our lives, and I'm super thankful for all the opportunities that we've been given. But I also do love. I do love my job. I love my career.
So, what do you love most about it?
It is the most rewarding thing to me, just at the finish line. Clients who are finally able to reach that financial success of owning a home, like for first-time home buyers. That's huge.
Huge, yeah.
Being able to help people in really difficult situations, some that are not always ideal, whether it be divorce or death, and being able to play a small role in releasing some sort of financial burden off of those families is huge. We have multiple military bases here, helping our active military. I always love helping those people. Alicia and I just helped the sweetest client,
so sweet,
who, God bless, moved here all the way from Hawaii, and it was really difficult in this market to find our home, and we did. Helping those families and seeing how happy they are at the end is great, and then also just that reward of clients referring you to people, and then also clients coming back to you a few years later is always the best part of the job, hearing back from them again, because they're like, hey, we loved our experience with you, let's do it again.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
I mean,
word of mouth referral. Yeah. Word of mouth referral is the best type.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you do anything else, or just sell houses all day?
Eat, sleep. What is it? Eat, sleep,
pray.
Real estate? No. So my family and I,
I think that's it.
I think we've all said that we all love spending time with our family. I truly do set them as a priority, especially having 2 daughters, showing them what it's like to be able to be a mother and working full time is incredibly important to me. We love to travel. We love going to good concerts, eating good food. We also just love exploring where we live. We live right off of a river, so we are usually outside a lot. And I was thinking about it earlier, but I think that probably my perfect afternoon or evening, weather permitting, of course, if it's 110 degrees outside, forget it. But, sitting outside with my family and my closest friends around a fire, letting the kids run outside, enjoying a drink, and just spending time with people that I love is what I love to do the most. And it doesn't sound like much, but I do love it.
The simple life is the good life.
Really. It really is.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to hear your perspective and kind of close the loop on the design, build, sell mentality. We're hoping to bring y'all topics that cover the luxury home industry from the conception of the house, the process of building it, and then selling it. You know, what makes that thing sell? What kind of house do you want to buy? How does that process work? She is well ahead of the curve when it comes to social media, her team, and her organization she has going for her. So I'm really excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, girl. I'm gonna
That
crush
too.
it.
Yeah. Well, this has just been helpful.
If you're enjoying Design, Build, Sell, please drop us a rating and review on Apple Podcast or wherever you get yours. You can also find us on YouTube or on Instagram at Design, Build, Sell Podcast. Check us out on our website, designbuildsellpod.com. Next week, we're going to have an interesting show for you, and we're going to be discussing the current design trends with our host, Alicia Dobby.